What's up, guys? It's your boy Alex, and this is the Stimulated Podcast, where I stimulate your mind and show you how to market your grind. And today, we're going to talk about, are you in a toxic relationship with yourself? All right. So, first off, if you like this podcast, if you get any information from it, I hope that you share it with a friend, okay? Don't hesitate. Just share with a friend. I need the plays, I need the views, I need the likes, I need the comments, I need whatever. I just want to build this brand and I want to help change as many lives as I can. So the only way I can do that is by you guys sharing the information that you get from this podcast, okay? So I know you guys are probably thinking, dude, what made you come up with this topic? So about a year ago, August 3rd, 2022, I made the decision to just turn my life around. I created this project. I call it P180, Project 180. My life was going downhill, so I wanted to turn it around completely. Like, I hated the guy I saw in the mirror. I was attracting these girls that I just didn't like, and they didn't like me. You know, I was so toxic and so horrible to myself that I attracted toxic things. So I had to make the decision, and August 3rd, 2022, I made the decision. I said, for 90 days, I'm going to just give life the best version of me. No matter how it looks, I'm just going to give it the best version of me. And then within those 90 days, I realized that I had no respect for myself. I didn't love myself at all. And I was just in a toxic relationship with myself, which is why I was in a toxic relationship with everybody else around me. So I just want to help somebody today change their lives, change their image, and even then change their self-love. I think we could love ourselves a lot more better. And I feel that once you love yourself better, you can love other people better. If you don't love you, you can't love nobody else. All right. So before we get into the 5 signs of, signs that you are in a toxic relationship with yourself, let's talk about the definition of toxic. All right. Toxic is poisonous, very harmful, or unpleasant in a pervasive or insidious way. All right. So you would never drink poison, unless you really want to, do something crazy to yourself. So sometimes, man, what happens is that we have these toxic habits and these toxic traits that hold us back from being the best version of ourselves. I remember when I would always do like these toxic things to myself. I was slowly killing me. I didn't recognize the man in the mirror. People started not to recognize me, and even then, people started to distance themselves from me. All right, the only people that were around were the people who loved to see me spiral at that moment, because I would do all these toxic things to myself. So if you have any habits that are poisonous, that slowly may kill you, and you know what those are, those bad habits: drinking, watching porn, just bullshitting, man, fucking your life off, bro. Like, you gotta cut it out. Do yourself a favor and cut it out. So let's talk about the 5 signs of being in a toxic relationship with yourself. Number 1, you don't love or respect yourself. It's so bad that you let any and everyone disrespect you. And it's so bad that you're chasing and always needing validation from things and people that don't matter. All right. So I remember when I worked corporate, I would always try to see, or I would just talk at times to have people co-sign on my behalf. And long story short, like, I could tell that they didn't want to. And even then, I got called out one time by my boss for that action, because I was just talking, man. It made absolutely no sense what I was saying at times. And I was just trying to get validation, man. So I made no sense to anybody. Even my girlfriends at the time, they would be like, yo, why you asking me these questions? Why you, you did something and it seemed like you're doing it right. You saw my response to it. That wasn't enough for you. But I was always chasing like the verbal reaction. I really don't know what it was, but I know deep down inside, it was because I didn't love me. I didn't respect me. I knew I was full of shit. So if anything, it was horrible, and I never want to do it again. If you want to change that, I would say write down the best version of yourself, right? And envision that person. What do they look like emotionally, physically, financially, and spiritually? And slowly start working towards it. Because from there, everything else you could, when you write it out, one, the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. So when you write it out, you basically create a game plan to create the best version of yourself. Think about reinventing yourself as you try to get out of this toxic relationship with yourself, all right? So write down the best version of yourself. What do they look like financially, physically, and spiritually, and mentally, all right? And then next thing you know, start working towards it. Slowly start working towards it, okay? Number 2, you lie to yourself. You justify bullshit and you judge others for theirs. All right. So I remember at one point in time, I would lie to myself so much that it would trickled over into my workouts. So if I had to do 10 reps, aka let's just say 10 push-ups, 10 pull-ups, on the way to 10, I would skip numbers and then act like I did 10 push-ups, 10 pull-ups. It was bad. Like I would just lie to myself and I would allow myself to slide with bullshit. But then let somebody else telling me that they're doing the same exact thing, I'm coming down on them hard. It's the craziest thing in the world. But there are a lot of people who do this. And a lot of those people are narcissists. They're victims. And I truly believe a lot of us were not made to be victims. A lot of us were made to be victors. So if you are lying to yourself, cut it out now, man. Keep track of your stuff. Hold yourself accountable. Give yourself grace, but yet hold yourself accountable. Don't hold yourself back by lying to yourself, man. And even then, when other people are doing their bullshit, don't judge them. Focus on you. Learn from them, but focus on you. You control your life. Focus on your life. Inspire others. Do what you gotta do, but don't judge other people, man. Real people focus on themselves and they help others, all right? So let's get into the next one. Number 3, you don't give 100% to anything that you do. I remember at one point in time, man, I didn't give 100% to anything that I did. I was a true bullshitter, and I would easily be offended if somebody called me out on it. To the point where it was like, Alex, I'm not feeling this photo, or I'm not feeling this video, or did you even put time into this post? Did you even put time into this thinking? And I would be like, yo, like, what you talking about? How you gonna question me? How you gonna do this? And the reality was, I was offended because I knew I didn't give 100%. I knew that I didn't want to put the effort in. I was being lazy. You know, laziness is one of those things where that's a toxic trait. Laziness kills people, all right? So you got to start giving 100% to everything you do. You got to see things through. You got to execute. The most successful people I know are the people that do what they say they're going to do, and they do it 100%. You can expect them to follow through on their word. You can expect them to hold themselves accountable and just get stuff done. And you should be the same way with yourself. If you say you got these goals, go for these goals. Don't stop yourself at all. Literally go for it. And I promise you that you will see a change. You will feel different. I remember there was this book that I read. It's called The Way of the Superior Man, right? And in The Way of the Superior Man, one of the chapters was a man won't feel complete in the bedroom until he feels complete out there in the world. And you know, one of the things, yes, it was a sexual reference, but then also too, what I took from it was, you won't ever feel complete or full of yourself until you give life 100% of who you are. So if you really want to find out who you are, give life 100%. Give that person that you want to become 100%, and see how you feel at the end of the day. See how you feel in 90 days. See how you feel in 100 days. I guarantee you, you're going to feel way more different, way more vibrant in any and everything that you do. So give life 100%, and I guarantee you, you're gonna move different. Number 4, an unhealthy diet. So look, a lot of times we don't realize how much of what we put in our bodies, whether it be through our mouths, through our eyes, how it affects us, right? So if you eat bad food, you're gonna feel sluggish throughout the day. Even then, some of these bad foods are really messing up how we think. We're not processing information as quick as we can. Or even then, we're not like taking in things how we should. When you eat better, you definitely feel better. You think better, you think clearer, and everything of that nature. You gotta watch what you watch, okay? And what I mean by that is you can't be watching Netflix all day and watching like BS on Netflix, right? Because the reality is you need to be learning. If you want to be great at your craft, if you want to be at least good at what you do, you have to take in information. You have to take in things that will benefit you, something that you can implement into your skill set. If you're watching drama, soap operas, reality TV all day, and that has nothing to do with your craft, you will never get better. You're just wasting time at that point. And who the hell wants to waste time? Like at this point, you only got 24 hours in a day. And as we all know, our 24 hours are moving faster as we get older. So it's like, yo, if you could watch something that's educational, watch something that's educational. If you're going to watch people on social media, watch people that's going to educate you and help you build up your skill set. Take in that type of content. Don't take in any content from anybody. Even then, don't put any type of food in your body that you know that doesn't belong in your body. Do something where your body and your mind will appreciate you and watch how you perform different. All right. Number 5, negative self-talk. A lot of us do this. It's easy because I don't know. It's just way more easier. That's just how the world has programmed us. But we got to shake that. All right. When you have negative thoughts all the time and you entertain them, your world is going to be negative. You have to train yourself to like start seeing the positive in any and every situation. I remember it was a millionaire I met. His name was Chuck Sack. And with Chuck always saw the good in everything, which was, it was crazy because like by him seeing the good in every situation, he knew how to get out of certain situations. So that was like an eye-opening deal for me because I would always focus on the negative. So at one point in time, anytime I talked to somebody, it was like the worst and the craziest thing because I would always talk about the negative of everything going on in my life. And when I would do that, life would just become a more and more dark place. And so once I changed my mindset, life became brighter. Even then, I was like, yo, you know what? I'm going to stop complaining. I'm going to start seeing the good in everything. And then next thing you know, I didn't focus on problems. I focused on solutions. And I think everybody else has to do the same thing because when you're in a toxic relationship with another person, guess what you do? You focus on their negative traits. So you may be doing that same thing with yourself and you don't even know it. So see the good in yourself. Know what you're capable of. Know your potential. And then perform to that potential. All right. On August 3rd, 2022, I had created this program called P180, which I designed. I call it Project 180, right? And with Project 180, it was for me to change my life, to go in the opposite direction. I felt like I was going downhill, so I had to correct my habits and correct myself so I could get back on the right track. And what P180 is 90 days of excellence, giving life 100%, getting out of this toxic relationship that I have with myself, and evolution. So literally I have it tatted on my arm, and I made the decision to fully commit to it December 28th, 2022. And that was like the best thing that ever happened to me. Like I said, you know, my life changed. I got a lot more done in a year than I ever have in my lifetime. Try something that is healthy for you. Try a program. Create your own program. I can't lie, y'all. This was inspired by Andy Frisella, 75 Hard. And, you know, instead of 75 days, I decided to go for 90 days. And that helped me out a whole lot. But reinvent yourself. Get out of this toxic relationship with yourself and become the best version of you. I promise you, you won't regret it. And life deserves a better version of you. People deserve the better version of you. Your circle, your family. They deserve the best version of you. Give it to them, and give it to yourself most importantly. You deserve the world. This is Alex Martin. Let's build our best lives. Let's stimulate minds, and let's stimulate our grind, man. Let's go.